If your transmission's knocking, don't bother rocking. If your transmission's knocking, don't bother rocking. Let's find out what's knocking on this thing. Let's get started.
And that's what he sounds like in the shower.
Yep, you guys don't want to be around when I'm in the shower. I'm singing pretty loud. This customer brought us this 2001 Dodge Ram, which this is back when it was called a Dodge Ram, not just a Ram. And it has some pretty cool stickers on it that I really approve of that we'll show you here in a little bit. This one came in with an oil leak. The customer's smelling a burning smell. It smells like burning oil. We found out what it was. They also have a check engine light, and they noticed that the engine, the RPMs are kind of dipping at times, and it's doing some weird things, feels like it's misfiring while they're driving. And also they wanted an oil change. But we found more. There's more going on here than originally thought. So let's dive in, let's take a look around this really cool Ram, and then let's talk about what we found is wrong with it. Look, Mrs. Wizard, it's a Dodge Car Wizard, or a Car Wizard Ram, something. But here's the front of this Ram. I remember when these first came out, guys, these were amazing. It looked like a little semi-truck. Really, really cool trucks. I still like them. I think they're really good trucks. This one's white, which will be the favorite color down here in the Southwest. Blocks out all that heat. It's got some little flaws here and there. It's an older truck. It's got a lot of miles on it. As we come around to the back, it has a really cool feature as I'm getting older and my back is starting to give me trouble. It's a Tommy gate, hydraulic lift gate. And on this side, we can see that other Car Wizard sticker on the back window, right by the Police Las Cruces 989 sticker. Let's go ahead and get that hood open. Can you believe it's almost been a month since we moved to our new shop? It was a lot of work. There were so many little things we needed to do. Just to open for business, we had to get connected with all new people, from the local parts stores to a new accountant. I'm feeling really great that everything is running smoothly, but I'm to the point now I realize I'm missing something everyone must have. That's finding a new doctor. I had my last doctor for years. Now that we're down here, I can't drive 11 hours to my old doctor. I have to find somebody new. You guys know that I struggle with arthritis from wrenching for so many years. I'm not going to put it off. The last thing I want to do is frantically search for someone when I'm in pain. I'm so happy ZocDoc reached out to me. They're not just sponsoring my channel, they're helping me personally find a new doctor with their free service. That's right, free. No strings attached. ZocDoc connects with over 150,000 providers and over 200 specialties across all 50 states. They will help you find an in-network doctor. Plus, each doctor has a detailed profile and you can read reviews from real patients. If you find a doctor you like, you can even book your appointment right there on their site. Many appointments are available in a day or two. You can even score same-day appointments. No waiting months for an opening. I talk a lot about preventative maintenance on your car. Don't forget about your own health. ZocDoc makes the whole process easy. The first place to start is by clicking the link in the description below. Taking care of your health just got easier. Head to ZocDoc.com/CarWizard to get started and check that appointment off your to-do list. Now back to this Ram. Now this has the venerable 5.9. You guys were waiting for me to say Cummins. No, it doesn't have a Cummins. It has the 5.9 LA-based V8. Very similar to 318, but this is the 360, and they are very, very good engines. Very reliable. The transmissions, not so much, but the engines are bulletproof. They're really, really good. They don't have tons of power, but they go and go and go and go. Very easy to work on. Here's our alternator and our AC compressor right up top. You can get to valve covers, you can get to the intake really easily. You can do exhaust manifold gaskets really easily. The belt is very simple to get to, and there's tons of room on either side. And you can see this really huge fan shroud here that reaches way back to here. The reason why is because if you did choose the 5.9 Cummins, that gives them room to actually fit the engine in. And you could have gotten a V10 gas engine as well if you got an SRT10, but that came a little bit later. So this one has a check engine light on. Let me go grab Ronnie Tron and let's talk about what he found. So here we are again, and people think that we're related or that you're my son. I actually saw a comment that said that you're our son in spirit.
I like the comments. Keep them coming.
Yeah, they're really cool. This is Ronnie Tron. This is his new name, and you kind of like that name, don't you?
Yeah, I'm just honored to have a nickname.
Yeah, a YouTube nickname.
Yeah.
So this one came in with a check engine light, and the idle was dipping, doing weird things, and while he was driving, it was acting up pretty bad. And what did you find with the check engine light code?
Yeah, so we plugged it in, obviously went through all the diagnostics and put it into Identifix to go and see what those codes, but it was a P0505, which is the idle air control unit.
Okay, so, and we actually have Identifix that we use. It's a really strong database. Let me show you guys what Ronnie-Tron found. So we see here it talks about idle issues. It's a trouble code P0505 that Ronnie-Tron talked about, and different things that they tried, and it gives a list of tests to check. But one thing, this is really good, it's called pattern failures. As I scroll down, over 100 replaced the powertrain control module, or the PCM. It was actually bad, where it was controlling the throttle or the idle, but we got so lucky. As you scroll down more, it keeps going, guys. I'm telling you, here's 40 or 50 of them replace the idle air control motor itself. Let's talk about that. So it lists all the tests that you can run. It saves a lot of diagnostic time, and you did all the testing and the wiring. What'd you find?
Yeah, what I found, and if, a lot of mechanics might just go straight to replacing the PCM, which seems to be the most common problem. But before I condemn a sensor or a module or a computer, I want to see if we're getting good communication. So there's a test we could run to see if the PCM was talking to the idle control motor and test all that wiring before we proceed.
And then after the test, you found what was actually wrong.
Yeah, the idle air control motor was definitely not functioning. It had good communication. The PCM was triggering it. Sometimes you can clean those out and get lucky, but when you're in a shop setting, you don't want it coming back because it didn't work. So we're just going to replace that unit.
Yep, so we got a new idle air control motor on order, and I'll show you guys where that is located, and I'll let you head back to break. Thanks, Ronnie-Tron, for your diagnosis.
Thank you.
So where is this pesky idle air control motor? It's actually on the back of the throttle body. Let me show you. If you see that orange, black and orange connector in the very back, it's a black cylinder-shaped object. That is the bad idle motor. So those can go bad internally. It's basically just a stepper motor. It can adjust a little valve back and forth to change the idle, and when it starts to go bad, it just gets stuck. And the computer says, hey, we need to raise that idle, and the little motor says, no, I'm not going to, because I'm bad, I failed. So things start to lug down, the idle starts doing weird things, and that's what the customer was noticing. Luckily, we don't have to replace the PCM. The customer might have been worried that'd be pretty expensive. It's just that little idle valve. We did try cleaning it. We tried various things like Ronnie-Tron said. It just wouldn't work. The motor itself has died. Now let's talk about the pesky oil leak. The customer says they smell a burning oil smell. Let's get this thing up in the air and show you what we found there. Peekaboo.
Wizard, we're not 3.
Okay, no, I'm definitely not 3 anymore. My back lets me know that. So I really like working on these. You can see that everything's easy to get to. You have all this room in front of the motor. If you remove this shroud, you can basically just stand in there almost if you want to. Our steering gearbox is easy to get to, which looks like it's been replaced. It says remanufactured there. I don't see anything leaking in this area. So you probably saw some white powder on the front of the engine. That's actually called trace powder. We can spray it where there's suspected leaks. And being that it's white, it gives a really good contrast, and you can find out really fast where the leaks are. But before we go any further, let's check out these wheels. I see right away it's had new ball joints put in. It's got a blue boot and some new nuts there. It's a fairly new shock. Our brakes are about 60 to 70% remaining. Sway bar link is good. Check the other side. Ball joint there. Brakes are about 60 to 70%. Shock is not blown. And sway bar link is good. As we move back to here, we see that the transmission oil pan is wet, and that is not transmission fluid. But let me show you some telltale signs. The customer said it smells like the oil's burning, and this corroborates exactly with what the customer said. So it could be easy to think that it blew on the cat, possibly, but it is getting on the exhaust right here. We can see where oil has been burning and staining all through here. And also, you can see some drips right here where oil has dripped on and actually burned. There's all kinds of little stains like that, but specifically back here at the back. So where's it coming from? It looks like the transmission could be leaking. It's actually not the transmission. It's up high on the engine, specifically in the back of the engine. Let me show you. You can see up here in the back of the cylinder head where the valve cover meets, it's all covered in oily, dirty oil. And right by the valve cover is the oil pressure sending unit. Both of those, Ronnie Tron got our Autel borescope camera up in there, and he was able to see it's just pouring oil. It's not all the time, it's just kind of intermittent. A little bit will drip down, and as you can see, it's dripping down and blowing onto the transmission. So it needs valve cover gaskets and an oil pressure sending unit that will solve our oil burning smell. So let's go ahead and finish our inspection. Other than that oil leak there, the transmission is dry. Transmission mount looks good back here. U-joint is good. Exhaust is all intact. This U-joint is good as well. I do see a little bit of seepage on the differential, but that's not really worth a big tear down or anything, especially with all the miles on it. Our shocks look good. Nothing leaking from the drum brakes. Same over here. I don't see any issues with the shock either. And our spare has air. It's a little bit loose. We'll see if we can tighten that up. Let's check the date codes on those tires. So these have a little age on them, but they're still good. You can see 27th week of 2019, but they got some good deep tread on them. So those are still good. Now I'm going to put this vehicle back down, but we're going to start the engine, raise it back up again, and let you guys hear the transmission's a knocking. So intermittently, there's a little knocking noise coming from the transmission. I'm going to hover my microphone there and see if you guys can hear it. So you can just barely hear it right now. Every once in a while you hear click, 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 click. As it warms up, it gets really loud and it gets way worse. It sounds like something's knocking. It actually sounds like something familiar. Let's get this thing on the ground and talk about this knocking noise. Now as this warms up, that noise gets worse and worse and worse. It's like tuck, 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 tuck. And to me it sounded like loose torque converter bolts on the flex plate. It gets that loud, guys. We actually removed the access panel that's on the transmission and made sure all those bolts were tight, and they were. Ronnie Tron did mention that when he drives this, the overdrive light will come on and off, flash on and off, and it's like it's kicking in and out of overdrive. There's something internal wrong with this transmission. It could be the torque converter's failing, it could be something inside the transmission, but you guys know we no longer pull engines or transmissions. We do not rebuild transmissions and we don't install transmissions. So we're going to let the customer take that to a dedicated transmission shop and see what they think about that rattling noise. It's getting worse and the customer definitely needs to get that addressed. But we figured out what's going on with the oil leaks. There's two of them, valve cover gasket and an oil pressure sending unit. We're going to go ahead and get an oil change done for this customer. And we also figured out that that idle air control valve is failing, and sometimes it just won't adjust the idle at all. So we've got that on order and we're going to go ahead and get that replaced. That will solve the idle issue. So we'll be able to cover 80% of this and get this customer back on the road. Thanks again for using the Car Wizard stickers. Did you ever think that your husband's face would be on people's cars, Mrs. Wizard?
Well, not in that way, but you know, I have never wished for you to be hit by a car either.
No, I don't want that as well. So definitely want to get a video out to you guys to show you that P0505 code and what it could be. It could be a PCM or the actual motor is failing. That's something to look into. Where common oil leaks are on these engines, and that transmission knocking noise will have to go elsewhere. If you're curious what kind of tools we're going to use to work on this truck or any other car in the shop, check our Amazon affiliate link in the description below. A lot of the tools we use every day, tried and true, are listed for sale there, and if you purchase any of them, we do get a small cut, and we really do appreciate it. And yes, there are many more videos to come, so that means hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching.